Hello, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Brian Howard. 20 years ago, I began my real estate career with Century 21, then Keller Williams, then a couple of small brokerages. And then after 15 years of being with RE/MAX, I made the big decision to move to eXp Realty. Things have never been better. This is a short podcast on why many, just like me, think this model is the future and why you may wish to be part of it. Please enjoy today's podcast. Welcome to the very first episode, Why We Joined eXp, with host Brian Howard. And who's Brian Howard? Hey, that's me. Today on the show, I have Simone Rousseau. Simone Rousseau is the owner and partner and, well, my senior partner who is responsible for our great organization called Upgrade Life Group. Simone's a longtime friend prior to her joining eXp more than 2 years ago. A longtime RE/MAX agent like myself, and she's loving life and her new work and focus with eXp Realty. Simone, thank you and welcome. Thank you for being our first guest on why I joined eXp.
You're welcome. This is super exciting, Brian, and I'm just delighted and grateful that you are putting me into this number one spot. I'm just very thankful.
Well, Simone, we've done a lot of masterminding over the years and we've gone in lots of different directions. And here we are today working in a similar vision. I consistently reach out to you, looking to stay on track and looking for ideas and inspiration on stuff that I feel that you've shown a lot of leadership on in recent years. Let's talk first a little bit about some of your production, your business, and a little bit about you and your family. What do you like to do for fun?
Yeah, sure. Well, I've been a licensed real estate agent since late 2009, so about 11 years, I'd say. And myself and my amazing husband, Pablo Galvez, we are a team, both in life, of course, and then in real estate. We have two daughters. Currently they're 16 and 17 years old, amazing kids. We're just blessed to have them. And then what do we do in our spare time? Well, our story, which I'm sure we're going to get into, did change in late 2018 when we joined eXp. But before eXp, I did a lot of working. I spent most of my waking hours working in real estate as a residential real estate agent. And then in the last 2 years and 4 months, things have changed dramatically for us. So now we have a lot more fun, a lot of mountain biking, a lot of skiing. Travel will come back into play after we get through this past 14 months that we've been in. But that's what we do now. Just a lot of fun and then overseeing our real estate organization.
That's great. Simone, you and I are both from Calgary, and we met probably somewhere like in San Diego or something, following our same coach, Mike Ferry.
Yep.
And actually, that's not true. The first time we met when he came to Calgary at some sort of sales workshop, and you got up in the audience and you were like, I am doing this and you're welcome to reach out if you want to come along. And I called you, I texted you, and you and I were great accountability partners for 2 years. And you and I have been really focus driven, doing 100 plus deals a year. Tell me a little bit about why and how you switched from being like this top producing RE/MAX agent team 2 years and 4 months ago, you said. Why did you make the jump? And how's life been since?
Oh my God. That's a loaded question. So
there's a lot there.
Yeah. So I'll try to keep it brief, but basically what my life looked like from about it was January 1st, 2010, all the way through until December of 2018, my life looked like this: grind, doing deals, working, expanding our business, contracting our business because of the economy, being stressed, being excited because there's lots of deals. So it was just a big, massive roller coaster. And I would say that for those 8 full years, we had a lot of great accomplishments. We met a lot of amazing other agents like yourself, and that became good friends. But life was really stressful. So you talk to anyone who, quote unquote, has success in their lives, and there's a lot of other things going on behind the scenes that you may not be able to see. So
Hmm.
that summarizes my life up to when my really great friend, John Sy from Vancouver, who's an EXP agent now, he introduced the EXP platform to me, the model, and it was instantly intriguing because what I saw for myself and our family was a possibility of getting off the real estate deal treadmill. And so I took a close look at it. I'm more of a driver type A personality, so it took me about 15 minutes of listening to my friend. And I just thought, this is like a no brainer. We got to try this. So I approached Pablo, my husband, and explained the model to him, and we looked at it together. He was not as eager as I was, to say the least. And through doing his own diligence, a couple weeks, 3 weeks later, we met the broker of EXP here in Alberta. And then he decided, yeah, let's do it. So we committed to each other that we would try it for 6 months. And if it didn't work, we could always go back to our independent brokerage or to Remax, or I'm sure any brokerage would take us. And
Hmm.
we jumped in and we made the switch in late December of 2018.
And so tell me, Simone, it's 2018, so it's been 2 years and 4 months. And what are you loving about EXP? How has it changed things? What has fundamentally switched?
Oh my God. So here we are with a loaded question again. So it's like night and day. It's a complete 180, not only in our business, but in our lives. So, and I don't want to be over dramatic with the way that I paint this picture, but it has really been a game changer for our lives. My life before EXP, because there is a huge line in the sand that was drawn when we changed. My life before EXP was stress, grind, very bland. My life after joining EXP has become dynamic, joyful, full of future, like seeking, looking into the future and knowing that there's something really great happening. There's also another thing that's been added, which is just like really great friendships, collaboration, and connection with other agents in the industry that have really, it kind of pulls everybody together. Whereas in the past, I felt like there was just barriers and walls being put up all around us. So it's night and day.
Why is it different than, say, a Remax? What's the
Oh my,
fundamental difference?
well, I think the whole business model is different.
What does the business model encourage? Like, why is it different?
Yeah,
How is it different?
it encourages agents supporting and helping and pouring into other agents.
That's
And
what I found as well.
yeah, you can't avoid it. I mean, as a agent at EXP, and this was one of my big surprises actually, because the reason I came to EXP became actually quite different of why I love EXP so much. And it naturally, when I see and when I can help or support other agents to be successful, then that adds to the success in our own business. And as a result, into our own business bank account. So really you're financially rewarded, which is one aspect, but then it goes a step further where you actually become enriched as a human through supporting others. And whether you're being supported by someone that's come before you or you're pouring into others that have come after you, it all just enriches your life.
Simone, as my senior partner in this organization, EXP, and the founder of our organization, Upgrade Life Group, what do you think some of the things that I might want to accomplish in this show? Some of the things for me doing the show is I'm learning more about the organization that I just joined 7 weeks ago and am loving. And then my other objectives are to learn more and share more about my last 20 years in this business and this model that I think is dynamite, just based on my own changes in the last 7 weeks. How do you think this show should progress? And what do you think a listener who's taken the time, valuable time, to partake in what are some of the things they would want to get out of a show like this? What kind of questions should I be asking my future guest?
Oh, super. So I think, real estate agents are a fun bunch, right? And I think that every agent, and this is really important, I think every agent is on their own path and has their own goals and has kind of in their mind and defined what's important to them. And I think through your podcast and the value that you're going to be giving to agents, you can be covering everything from how to increase production, right? It's always a goal. It should be a goal of an active, real estate agent, how to be more profitable, how to have quote unquote work-life balance, right? Because, really the reason we're doing all of this, isn't it to be with our families and to
Hmm.
have time and to excel as a human being on this earth? I mean,
Hmm.
I would think that that would be a lot of people's reasons.
Yes.
So, unfortunately in our business, in real estate as agents, we lose track of that very quickly. And we get caught in that heavy weight of just always doing the next deal and always
Hmm.
answering the phone because it might be the next deal. So that could be, a great topic. And then the whole platform of eXp Realty. I mean, there are a lot of elements to this model that will attract all different types of agents. So getting into all the different elements would be important.
So some of the elements of why someone might choose this company that I'm thinking of top of my head and help me with this would be, for example, the different sources of revenue income
Right.
from being an EXP agent, which, as we were discussing just before we jumped on the call, there's really three ways. There's commission income, which is very normal with any brokerage, of course. And then the other two that aren't so normal are the shares, the ability to earn shares in the company or buy shares. So let's talk about buying shares. Well, yes, you can buy shares in this public traded company and it can increase, hopefully, but I guess it's playing a game. That's one way, but also with the shares, there's four ways of getting income on the shares. Can you tell us about the four ways quickly?
Yeah, sure. So just to kind of make this really clear, so as an EXP agent, you can earn regular commission income like you always have. That doesn't change, right? You do deals, you get paid commissions, and that doesn't change. Number two, like you said, you have an opportunity to earn shares at eXp Realty, and it'll be under EXPI if you're looking up the ticker on the NASDAQ, or eXp World Holdings is the name of our corporation. So you earn shares at EXP. I know when I was at Remax, I used to get these like medallions, these little circle metal things that you used to stick into this wood board. When you achieved a certain level of production, you get a new medallion, you might get a letter with it. Sometimes there was the odd trophy. But at EXP, you get the trophy, but you also get awarded shares. So
Mhm.
what that is called, that's one way to earn shares as a top producer. You can earn shares by becoming what's called an icon agent at EXP. And the icon agent will pay you your entire cap back to you in the value of shares. So right now the cap is $16,000. And if you achieve a certain level of production, you'll receive $16,000 as an award in shares. Okay. Number two and number three and number four would be the awards that you get when you do your first transaction each year. You're awarded shares. When you cap as an agent, so you pay your $16,000 for the year, you get awarded shares. So that's a certain level of production. And then the third way you're awarded shares in this little trio is when you sponsor an agent that comes to EXP and they do their first transaction, they'll get shares and then you'll get shares, kind of like Oprah. We'll all get
Mhm.
shares. You get shares, they get shares.
Yeah.
So you'll get awarded shares there as well. And then finally, to wrap up the whole share platform is as an EXP agent, you are able to take 5% of your commissions from every transaction, and EXP will take that and purchase EXPI stock for you at a 10% discount. So that's the instant built-in 10% equity that you can receive by buying in. Now, the caveat is stock shares could go up, could go down, you never know. So there's no guarantees of what could happen. The only certainty I ever had was when I was at Remax, I knew exactly what my stock award was worth because it was zero,
Right.
right? Because I didn't have any. So at EXP, we have an opportunity to possibly see an increase in our shares, or
Yeah.
maybe it'll go down.
Cool. And then the third source of revenue is agent is attraction. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's called revenue share. So it's
Revenue share.
it's the
Right. That's the
sustainable
third.
revenue share
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
And basically it's a built-in way, it's a growth structure that the founders of eXp Realty built into our model, where the company grows through word of mouth. So as real estate agents, if we love our brokerage, which I've never met an EXP agent that doesn't love it, but we naturally, agents know agents. And when we have an agent that we've referred to EXP, we are then compensated by a referral fee, basically, as that agent produces within the EXP platform. And that's called revenue share.
And that's pretty much the game changer, I feel, so far in the collaboration that we're seeing in EXP. We want people to be successful. So I've been selling real estate now for 20 years, and maybe getting a little bit tired of, I know what I'm really good at, I know what I'm bad at, and I really would like to have people work with me and train them, because I'm a human and I like to do good things. I had a really great career in this business. I love the real estate business, but I'm really ready to support other people that had that sort of fire and motivation that I had 20 years ago when I started. And so that's what I'm really seeing. So again, 3 ways to create revenue: commission, shares, and then revenue share, which is more about attraction, I think, and supporting members in your group.
You got it. And not only supporting members in your own organization that you build as an EXP agent, but because we're all shareholders, really the collaboration reaches throughout the whole company. Because if and when EXP agents become more and more successful selling real estate, because that's what we're up to, it's a real estate company first, we all benefit because our share value will thus increase, hopefully, in the future.
hmm I don't want to beat this to death or anything, but I was talking to our mutual good friend in Vancouver. I'll make his name remain silent for now, who moved from our market in Calgary. And I was talking to him yesterday. And so, like, when you think about it, every year I've been paying for my Remax brokerage something around $1,500 a month. And a little bit of that goes to Dave every month, I suppose, for the last 15 years. And now, instead of that getting paid to him, I sort of said I pay it to a senior partner and have the opportunity. And meanwhile, my fees that I pay, about 16, as a well-trained professional long-term agent, that 30 deals a year is kind of like, in our training, our coaching of Mike Berry is, to put it the way Mike would spit on it, like 30 deals a year. We should be doing that. We actually we don't pay fees to belong to this brokerage when we're doing sort of 30 deals a year or thereabouts. And then we have the opportunity to earn shares. On that note, one other colleague in our industry, who I think we can name Lee Youssef, who started with EXP very early in Calgary days, but then left because it was almost too new. He was telling me that if he had just stayed in it and did his business, his shares would be worth 1.7 million today.
Yeah.
But
well, we affectionately refer to it as EXP millionaires, and there's a lot of them out there, that people that got in early, or people that even got in last year, because really this is a long-term proposition. And I always had the mindset not to focus on the stock. What I was up to was, what is the platform for agents being able to be successful at selling real estate at a high level? All the support, all the training, all the mentorship, all the coaching, the collaboration, everything that EXP provides, the tech, it's off the charts to be able to provide an avenue for success for agents. The stock, I just let it grow in the background. And
right.
so
And I really shouldn't be focused on it too much as well. So what are some of the reasons why people join EXP? Those are some reasons, is to earn income, but then I guess their KV core, their tech is very good.
Well, I have a list, actually. It's on my wall. I'll look at my list, but I've got 5 main reasons why people join EXP. Number 1 is the leads, the ability to grow your leads through the KV Core platform, the powerful lead generation platform called KV Core. Number 2 is the training that EXP provides. So we have training in EXP World, and that's our virtual office. And you pick a topic, and there are experts from throughout North America and the world pouring into other agents and training other agents live. Number 3 is the stock, which we've covered already. So there's the stock awards. Number 4 is the revenue share model, which we've talked about. And number 5, which a lot of times goes unseen at first, but it actually becomes one of the biggest things, is the culture. So EXP's culture of integrity, sustainability, community, collaboration, and more. But these are the foundations of what makes EXP so amazing. And a lot of people join EXP strictly for the culture and the collaboration.
Terrific. Thank you so much for sharing that and pointing it out to us, Simone. Simone, I'd like to kind of wrap up. I want to be aware of your time and our listeners' time. I have a last question for you. Well, maybe probably a last question. What's easy for you these days?
I hate to say this, but life is pretty fantastic right now. Life,
That's great.
I mean, to have the freedom, I don't know if this is, relevant to many people, but my father was quite ill in late 2020 and he ended up passing away of cancer in November. And what was really amazing and beautiful about all that was through the power of eXp Realty, I was able to spend every second of my time with him in his final months of life because of what I had built within EXP. So now I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to pour into other agents and help mentor them and coach them and give them the benefits that I was able to experience. So what's easy right now is just, showing up for people, being here for people. It's joyous and it's like nothing I've ever experienced.
Wow, that's wonderful, Simone. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And it's great to follow you and Pablo and see what you're doing and follow your leads. And I look forward to having you back on the show at some point in the not too distant future and diving down other roads of our shared learning.
Can I mention one last thing?
Please.
You were the very first person that I reached out to when we decided to join EXP. And I'm just so grateful that you have decided to make the move. And I can't wait for us to just grow together.
I kind of always knew I was coming with you and following along. It just took me a long time, like 2 years and some months. And no regrets. Life is like that sometimes. And it takes a while for me to sort of open up and see why. And there was other reasons. We all have reasons why not to move, right? So it took that long.
Well, you're here now. That's all that matters. And I can't wait to gather up anybody else, right? Between people people I know, and have them come on this fun, crazy ride.
It's awesome. Thanks so much, Simone.
My pleasure. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you for listening today. For more information on eXp Realty and to learn how to align with myself, Brian Howard at eXp Realty, visit partnerwithhoward.com. That's partner, PARTNER, with WITH, Howard, HOWARD.com. Thanks for listening.